This is the brief on the Great Rulers Tournament, Chen's Masterstroke. All right, picture this, the Great Spiritual Academy Tournament. It's a massive deal, right? Young talents battling it out, and right in the middle of it, Chen pulls off this seriously clever move to grab the top spot from his rival, Chen. Okay, so first, let's talk about Chen's smarts. He knew Chen played dirty. So, with his buddy Lin Zhou's help, he quietly got in touch with over 100 groups he'd helped out before. And he convinced them, hey, transfer your competition points, the points you earn for winning stuff, over to me. A pretty bold play. Second, how'd he convince them? With sovereign liquid. Now this stuff is incredibly rare, like liquid gold for cultivators looking for a power boost. Chen offered each group 5 drops. He managed to get over 800 drops because he'd gotten stronger and could tap into his spirit-gathering cup. Think of it as a magic artifact. Quite the bargaining chip, huh? And finally, the big payoff. All those points flooding in, Chen's score rocketed from about 180,000 past 260,000. Just like that, he knocked Chen off the #1 spot. Back at his academy, this ancient bell, quiet for ages, suddenly rings out loud. You know what that means? The final super intense round is about to kick off. So yeah, the stage is absolutely set for the ultimate showdown in this tournament's finale.
This is the brief on the Great Ruler, episode 167. Okay, so the Great 5 Clans competition, the big tournament deciding the top elite schools. Well, the final round just kicked off, and it's huge. Especially for Beichang Academy, one of the big 5, because their whole status is on the line. Serious pressure. First off, the stakes for Beichang Academy, sky high. After a half-year wait, this isn't just any competition. It's the most intense in a decade. It's basically make or break. Will Beichang stay one of the prestigious 5 great academies, keeping all that influence? Or will they take a massive hit to their reputation and their students' futures? Second, the key players. Beichang's hope is Chen, a rising talent, but he faces a really tough opponent, Qian, who's apparently as strong as some senior elders. Even Beichang's grand elder, Taichang, a top leader, is worried, though Lingxi seems confident in Chen. And get this, the 5 grand elders are overseeing it all, including Tiansheng from rival Shengtian Academy. Yeah, definitely some old rivalry there. Finally, the big reveal. Inside this huge Golden War World arena, they announced the top 8 finalists. Spots 8 through 4 go to academies like Juding, Unbeatable, and others. But hang on, where's Beichang Academy? They're not called yet. So everyone's wondering, did they miss the cut, or are they actually aiming for the top 3? So yeah, this episode really sets the stage for the final showdown, leaving us totally guessing about Beichang Academy's fate and who the top contenders will be. This is the brief on the Golden War Staircase qualification round. Okay, so what is the Golden War Staircase qualification round? Well, think of it like this intense, kind of brutal, spiritual competition straight out of the epic Great Ruler series. It's basically where these up-and-coming talents go head-to-head, Not just for bragging rights, but for these huge opportunities that can seriously fast-track their whole spiritual journey to mastering some unbelievable powers. First, you won't believe this upset. A new student, Chen, from Beichang Academy, he didn't just edge out a win. He totally dominated, snagging first place. Nobody saw that coming. Qian, the guy everyone thought would win, from Shuangshuan Academy, yeah, he ended up second, and trust me, he was not happy. And then there's King Qian from Wanwang Academy. Really charismatic, she came in third. Chen's win? It sent shockwaves through his own academy. They haven't had a victory like this in ages. Second, let's talk prizes. They're insane. Winners get 1,000 drops of Zizun liquid. Now, this stuff is essential if you're aiming for the Zizun realm. That's like this legendary level of spiritual power, almost godlike strength. But even crazier, there's a single Zizun pill. Super rare. Apparently, it makes breaking through to that crazy powerful Zizun realm way more likely. People say it's as valuable as a low-grade Heaven Realm artifact. Those items with immense power. Yeah, even Chen was stunned by that one. Finally, things got personal. Those rivalries, they're set to explode now, especially between Chen and Qian. Jiqian had this brief moment thinking he was ahead, right? Then, boom! Mu Chen zooms past him, takes first. Ouch! They had this really tense face-off afterwards, basically trading threats for the final round. And Mu Chen's friend Rioli totally backed him up, making Jiqian even madder. So the 8 leaders drew lots. Mu Chen got a fire-red pillar that decides who fights who next. The stage is now fiercely set for the ultimate showdown.
This is the brief on the Great Ruler Tournament Finals. Okay, so we're diving into the big finale of the Great Ruler, right? The last 8 groups from top academies are clashing, and there's this unique scoring system that really puts the spotlight on the leaders. First, the initial matchups. Super strategic. You've got Mu Chen. He's this rising prodigy facing Liu Qingyun. Thing is, Liu Qingyun's academy, allies of Mu Chen's rival, Jiqian. Jiqian himself is up against an underdog, Huangpu Sheng, and maybe the most intriguing, 2 kind of mysterious powerhouses, Wu Ling and Sha Tianhe, are finally showing their cards. Expect surprises. Second, this scoring system is crucial. Each group gets 7 points. Lose a regular member? Okay, -1 point. But lose your leader, that's a massive 3-point hit. Recovering from that to make the top 4? Almost impossible. So leaders become prime targets and essential assets. Finally, Mu Chen's opening fight against Liu Qingyun escalates fast. Liu Qingyun's got his Wind God Halberd, a powerful quasi-heavenly weapon. Think top-tier magic artifact. It actually pushes back Mu Chen's even rarer demonic dragon spear, a supreme heavenly weapon. But Mu Chen, unfazed, unleashes something new, a huge demonic pillar, like pure energy, blasting from his eyes. It's his counter to Liu Qingyun's ultimate wind dragon swallowing heaven attack. Definitely shows Mu Chen is a serious contender. Yeah, these opening moves and unique rules really set the stage for an unpredictable high-stakes tournament. This is the brief on the Great Ruler's Grand Tournament. Okay, so what's this all about? Well, we're diving into the latest battles in this huge youth tournament. You've got these young cultivators, right? Martial artists with amazing spiritual energy. They call it Ling power, and they're really going all out, showing off some unique, totally devastating powers to see who comes out on top. First up, that crazy showdown between Mu Chen and Liu Qingyun. Man, Mu Chen brought out this ancient demon pillar, like radiating dark energy, and his mysterious great pagoda art. That's the one mixing black and white Ling power, kind of like yin and yang. Liu Qingyun didn't back down, though. He unleashed his clan's special wind spirit Ling power. His eyes went jade green, tornadoes everywhere. Then, get this, he summoned this massive wind god shadow thing with a blood sacrifice. It actually cracked the arena. But Mu Chen? He countered with this giant black pagoda from his own art, something his powerful mother used to do. Wild stuff. Second, we saw some real surprises in the other fights. There was Huangpu Sheng from this kind of unknown nameless academy. He actually held his own against the famous Jiqian, using this special jade-like hand bone he cultivated to block spear attacks. Pretty cool. Then you had Wu Ling and Sha Tianhe in a dead-even fight, both showing off Spirit Disaster Stage 3 power. They're so close to that next level, the Zun power realm. Oh, and Wen Qingxian, quick win against Fang Yun, showing the skill gaps are definitely real. Finally, why do these leader battles matter so much? Well, these head-to-head fights are where the big points are. Winning here really decides which of the 8 groups move on to the final 4. Plus, it's where everyone shows their true strength, you know? Those hidden powers they got from their clans or found some other way. These intense clashes are really shaking things up in the Great Ruler, hinting at even bigger things to come.